Hi guys, welcome back to Yardy Code. So it's obviously been a long time, but I just needed to focus on my dissertation for the past couple months. I'm also trying out this new feature where you can actually see my face. Looking at it, I'm gonna do this again. Anyway, in this video, I just want to pick up where I left off, which was exploring GUIs. However, I'm going to be using a new library, which is PyWebio, to design something which I think is very close to me. Salary calculator is probably close to everybody as well. So this is what I used to use when I was job hunting in Jamaica for the few jobs that actually advertise the salary. I mean, pretty nifty. I just needed to put the gross salary, for instance, 2 million, and it would just automatically tell me what the expected monthly income is and the major deductions. It didn't consider stuff like pension or part-time working. Like I said, it was nifty until it became just cumbersome because you have to open Excel every time. So now that I've learned how to code, or I'm learning how to code, it made sense to just do a simple program to convert it to an app. So before we jump into the code, I just want to point out that I've been converted from PyCharm to Visual Studio Code, which I find to be much faster, much lighter, and honestly, since switching, it's like I can finally sleep at nights. But that's for another video. Now I'm gonna just point out another switch I've made, which is from Tkinter to PyWebio. So Tkinter for designing GUIs, it's great, it gets you functional apps, but in terms of the final product, PyWebio, it's a more modern, sleek look, and for that reason, I decided to start exploring this new Python library. For instance, if you want to put text or image or tab or table, you literally just need to say put table, put text, put image, and it does what it says. It's going to put some text, it's going to put a table, or put an image. So beginning with importing the models, you really don't need much. You just need to have input and output from PyWebio, which is essentially allowing PyWebio to get stuff from the user and for the app itself to display things to the user. Everything that has been commented out, it's needed if you're actually going to deploy the app using a platform like Heroku, which I'll try to make a video to show how exactly you can get that done. Additionally, I imported local because it's needed to just like set the currency. Otherwise, you're just going to be dealing with raw numbers and they're not going to look organized. In terms of setting the currency, it says US, but that's only because I'm trying to get the dollar sign, which I really didn't know how to get it for Jamaica. I don't even know if Jamaica is there, but it's just the sign that matters. So with PyWebio, you can also set the theme. There are several themes available. You can just check out their documentation for the rest. Everything else here is just some functions that I created to display information to the user. And you'll see when I run the app how exactly it comes into play. But the reason why I put these at the start, like actually create functions or create variables to hold this information, is so I don't have to keep making changes throughout my code if there's a change to this particular information. So my disclaimer, for instance, if it is that I intended to change the wording of my disclaimer, I would just change it here instead of having to go through the rest of the code to change every spot that I want the disclaimer to be displayed. In this bit, which is tax rates, I just created variables to hold the various rates, whether it's income, NIS, education tax, NHT. And this again is done so that I don't have to constantly make changes in my code. So if, for instance, the PAYE threshold changes from 1.5 million in the future, then I would just come here and make the change instead of actually searching the calculation or searching the rest of the code in order to change it. So moving on, I then created a variable called run calculator, and essentially it's what's going to calculate the take home pay and the salary deductions. Everything here is just based on the calculation that I found on like the TAJ Tax Administration Jamaica website or other websites that I found that helped with calculating your taxes. I try to display this information in like table format. So like I said, it's pretty simple. You just need to say stuff like put table, put text to get the information out there. Next, it's the calculator. So this is actually the main function. So after all of that, the main function to run the app is this short function right here, which is a couple lines. And it's just saying to run the calculator, you're going to call the other functions before, if that makes sense. So everything else was just in preparation for running this. And finally, the key thing is in order to run the app on your local host, you just need to put all of this stuff right here, which is the start server, and then calculator means this function that I created last, and that's it. I mean, all of this I'll put, it's on my GitHub, so you can just follow the link and you can get the full code there, and of course, happy if you make changes. Okay, so let's just run this now so I can show you what the final thing looks like. Based on this script, it's going to be a local app, which means there's no like permanent web address for you to access the app because it's not been deployed. So this is the link. Just gonna select that and open it up in my browser. And here you go. Let's press start and see what happens. Gross salary, let's say 3 million. Submit. And it just breaks it down for you. And this is the disclaimer that I was saying before, that is going to tell you don't trust it. And of course, if you press start again, it clears it and you can put in a different figure. Let's put a really high one, high by Jamaica standard. There you go. And just some other things on the app. It made sense to put a bit of information to help someone who might not really know how taxes work, just explain what these deductions are. So PAYE, and if you read more, it's going to bring you to, I think, the TAJ, the tax administration website, to just break it down some more. NHT, education tax, all of that nice stuff, and more information is, of course, it's my GitHub profile. So yeah, I mean, like I said, this project was really close to my heart because it was fun just being able to, what's the word? Just like move something from Excel to Python, something that I was using. It's good to just be able to make it better, I guess, with code. And for that reason, I decided that I would actually try to deploy the app to share with other people, of course. So yeah, what else should I say? Just use my calculator. Anyway, thanks so very much for watching, and I hope you learned something today. Bye.